How to create videos like a 6-figure dropshipper. I've been doing organic now for about 2 years and I've ran a lot of products and I've learned a ton from all the products that I ran. So let's get straight into it and I'll show you exactly what I do to make all my videos look intrinsically viral. So the first thing I do, and I've really never done this until recently, but it is such a game changer, actually scheduling out all your videos on a spreadsheet. And I do 2 spreadsheets. The first one I do is my research spreadsheet. These are all my competitor accounts where I can see what videos are going viral for them, what concepts are working for them, and I can implement them into my own videos. These are all the sounds that I've been using and all of their sound links that I can just take and put into my CapCut. And these are a bunch of the texts I've tried out. And having all this helps me come up with new ideas for text, or I can just see which text works and I can go back to it. Like these 2 highlighted in green, these 2 have worked well for me in the past, so I keep using them. Next, I have my stitch clips. I don't have a lot because I don't really use that many stitch clips. These are movements. So the product I am selling right now, I didn't talk about that yet, but modded watches. It's basically your Rolex, Patek, APs, all those really high tier watches, except that you take the looks of those watches and put it onto a Seiko watch. A good example of this is the Rolex Wimbledon. It's just modded to look like a Rolex watch. So with this watch, I do a bunch of different movements, showing it off, showcasing it. Right here, I wrote down a few of my hook movements, which means like the movements I do right up to the beat drop or to lure the viewers in. And then here are my main movements, which are just movements I do with the watch during the video. And then over here, I just do a bunch of videos that I could copy. These ones are my videos that I've already went viral that I can reuse again. And these videos are videos from my competitors that I've one-to-one copied. Now on my analysis sheet, I have video types, the date I'm supposed to post, a video copy link, text on screen, sound used, stitch clip, my result, the view results, color grade, and any notes if anything went wrong or maybe just some context when I am filming it. I've been doing this exact product for a long time now. Today is February 4th. My first post for this product was November 3rd. So it's been about 3 months filming for this product, so I know what I'm doing now. Yeah, so just having all this makes everything so much easier. You can actually see what you're going to do and you can plan out ahead right before you film and edit. For all my products previously, I used to just write them down sometimes, but it would be very unorganized and I couldn't understand what was working well for me and what wasn't, and what I should keep doing and what I need to improve on. But having these spreadsheets really helps me understand my product better and my videos, how I should be planning ahead for them. I'm not gonna lie, recently this brand hasn't been doing very good, so I'm not afraid to show all this content. My Instagram actually got banned in December. It was at like 20K. My Facebook is at like 22K, but the videos slowed down so much and they don't get that many views. That's because I've been kind of lazy with my videos recently. Today we're about to change that up. We're about to make some good content and get my accounts back up before I probably sell this brand.
El reloj que todo amante del chocolate necesita. Etiqueta a esa persona que quieres que te lo regale.
Okay, I just switched my glasses because I couldn't see shit. But this is what my setup is looking like for the video. If you wanted to see how I set up my background and everything going into this, I have another video on my channel that I posted about a week ago explaining all of this. So if you want to know more, just check that out. I'm gonna set up my phone, get it all good. I'll tweak the background a little bit. I'm filming in 4K 60 FPS, by the way. Just get the best looking video possible. And while I am filming, by the way, I just like to be listening to the sound I'm going to use like a few times, just so it's fresh in my mind and I can think while I record. And this also helps me like plan out what movements are going to work best at what time after I listen to it a few times. Because when you're filming, you want to flow best as you can with the music. If your movements are off with the sound, everything's gonna look silly and it's not gonna make sense. So you gotta make sure like if the sound is very slow, you wanna move very slow with it, like kind of dance with it. If it's moving very fast, then you're gonna do faster movements. Like I said, I already kind of know what movements I want to do with this sound since I've done it so many times. I already know what works best. For my hook, what I do is, if you remember my competitor's video, he kind of had the watch out and was like cleaning it like this. And then when the beat drop fell, he just moved it out of the way. What I'm gonna do, and what looks a lot better, is I'm gonna wear the watch. So I'm gonna actually have the watch on and do the cleaning and then move it off. It just looks a lot cleaner. If you saw it side by side, you know exactly what I mean. Listen to the hook really quick. You notice how it's very slow at first and then it speeds up. That's how I'm going to be cleaning my watch. So I'm gonna go very slow and then speed it up. So I'm just going with the sound. And you can even film while listening to the sound, which is what I'm going to do because it gets your timing perfect and I can just mute my actual video. Another tip when filming, and this doesn't matter what product you're going to be using, as long as you're kind of sitting down and you're filming just a still video, you need to keep your elbows down so you're not shaking in the video, and so that you can do your movements as clean as possible. So with this one, since I'm kind of like this and I'm showing my watch, I'm putting my elbow down on another case that I have instead of just holding it, because like I'm gonna be shaking a ton when I do that. So this minimizes all the shaking and makes it look a lot cleaner. Normally I'll do that a few times, but I actually think I nailed it on the first try. Now what, I actually am going to redo it because I cut my finger open and I had to wear this band-aid, but it honestly makes the video look a lot worse. So I'm gonna redo it. I'm gonna take the band-aid off and redo it. So now that the hook is done with, I only have to do really 4 more movements. We're gonna take our time. You shouldn't rush these things because quality over quantity for sure. You should make sure every movement is as clean as possible. Don't rush anything. I used to run 4 products at a time and all my videos would be super rushed and low quality, and that's just not going to get you anywhere. It's much better to take your time with 2 products or 1 product rather than 4 and just rush everything. So this movement is going to be opening the case slowly and then tilting it. This one usually takes me a few tries because it's not very easy. So I'm going to tilt it down a little bit, change the angle up. Another thing, before you actually film, you should wipe down your lenses. I forgot to do that, but you should wipe down your lenses, make sure there's no blurriness. Main reason for this overhead light, I explained in my background video that I was just talking about. When I tilt the watch, it gives it like a little flash effect and it looks really cool, and that's like satisfying to the viewer. You should look for those little things because every little thing improves the overall quality of the video. My next movement, it's gonna start on the beat drop from Daydream. So it was Daydream, blah, blah, blah. From blah, blah, blah. Right there, then I'm gonna start tilting it. So I'm just gonna count in my head like how long it takes to get there. Daydream, blah, blah, blah. So I just realized every time I tilted it, my box light would actually get in it and it would cause another reflection off the glass. So I'm just gonna move everything a little closer, move myself a little closer, and the box light shouldn't be in it as much. Another thing I do to get my elbows down and steady so I'm not shaking so much, I grab a pillow and just raises where I'm going to be putting my elbow down, and it helps me get under it a little better so I'm not shaking as much. Okay, finally got that movement down. Holy crap. All right, yeah, so that took me about like 5 minutes for that just one movement, but like I said, every single little part of the video counts, so don't fuck that up. But luckily that was the hardest part. Now everything from here should be relatively easier. I'm gonna move my camera again. Okay, so this time my overhead light is kind of at an angle, and all I'm doing is just flipping the watch pillow down into the light. The big hand on the watch is covering the Seiko logo, so just gonna twist the crown a little bit and move it out of the way, trying to make it look as aesthetic as possible. Okay. Happy with that one. And even if you are a tiny bit off with the sound, you can always just speed it up or slow it down just a tiny bit in the editing process. So it's not really that big of a deal. So the next part, I'm clipping it onto my wrist and then flipping it around slowly. Again, I'm using this to keep my elbow down steady. Another thing is that every time you get a different clip in, it's good to change up the angle. Even something as small as that, it increases increases your retention rate because it's more like attractive to the viewer. So I'm changing up my point of view every single little clip, even just a tiny bit. And that also matters for editing time when you have to do all the little zoom ins. If it's in the same point every single time, you could actually mess up the little zooms and zoom outs. That's something to remember. You should always have your product being in the center of the frame every single time. I like to put it in the upper center. On your phone, you should have the little grid on, and I try to get right there every single time, because down here when you're scrolling, it's all the captions and stuff. You won't be able to see anything, but everybody sees right there first. Yeah, everybody sees that little part when they're scrolling first, so it's very important to keep that in the center of the frame. All right, I'm all done recording. All right, now back to the computer for the editing. Before I actually get onto my laptop and put all the clips into CapCut, I like to just get into my camera roll, get all the clips, and just shorten them down to where my good parts actually are. And this cuts down on your editing time a lot more. So, okay, so now all the clips are on my laptop. Let's start the editing. So I'm using CapCut, and my main video is a video with the sound that I've used before, and I literally just copied all the movements that I've done with this video. I literally just cut the video, and it makes it a lot easier for me to match up my clips that I just took with my old clips, so I don't have to go into the sound and find every little beat where I can put another cut in. It shortens the process again. But let's say I didn't have this, what I would do is just listen to this sound, and then once I find a beat where I can add another clip in, all I would do is just add a little marker. So right here.
Daydream, I fell asleep amid the flowers for a couple of hours.
Like every little beat, you can just add a marker and get a little more accurate when you rewatch it. Add in my first clip.
Daydream.
And I actually am going to speed up this clip a little bit just because the beat drop right after is kind of fast, and I didn't go as fast in the actual video. So what I'm going to do is go speed, custom, and I'm going to find the points where it should be sped up. I'm not going to speed up the entire clip, but just the part of the clip. And make sure to mute the videos that you took after, unless you actually need the sound in it. Otherwise, it's just going to be random background noises that you do not need in your video. Just realized I moved a little bit in this one. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shorten the clip, and then I'm gonna bring the speed down so that you can't really tell that I actually shook with my hands. But if I really messed up and the shake was really bad, I would either first check my other clips before that one. Maybe I can take another one that wasn't so bad, or I would just have to go back and refilm it. But definitely don't want to do that. You got to make sure you get it right the first time.
The flowers.
Alright, this is a little sneaky, but I have an idea. This is very technical stuff, but I just want to make it sound perfect and look perfect. So right here, starting from here to the end, this would be my clip. There's not a lot of movement in it, and I want to be able to show me closing the clasp a little bit before it clicks in. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the sound, I'm gonna extract the audio, take that. Another thing I have to do when I'm done is actually remove this audio and add in the actual sound, because in this video I do have background noises for the clasp right here too, and I don't want to add the old sound of my clasp and the new one. It would just sound a little weird having click 4 times instead of 2. Another thing you can do to speed up the time is, well, on my keyboard for CapCut, it's to press L, and that doubles the speed every time you click it, and it just saves you a lot of time when you're looking through your clips, trying to find which one works best with the video. I also sometimes, if I take a ton of videos for this one clip, I would just go through all of them, cut out the bad ones and get only the good ones left, and then just rewatch it a few times and see which clip I did best, and then just remove the other one.
Daydream, I fell asleep amid the flowers for a couple of hours.
Now the raw footage is done. A good website just for drop shipping in general, which helps out a lot is Cobalt and ssstic.io. These you can both put in any like video. This website is only for TikTok, but on Cobalt you can paste in any link from any social media channel and you can get the video back with no watermark. If you wanted to like start reposting those videos, first of all, you're probably gonna get banned, but if you play it right, if you're just trying to take a stitch clip, you can use Cobalt to get the watermark out and you have the video, and then you can get onto a metadata remover and just get the downloaded clip, put it in, and then download that one. And that shouldn't come up on any social media that you are like copywriting the video. So that's a little tip right there. I'm gonna download this song really quick. So all I'm gonna do is just get this sound in and then match it up with the old sound in. So let me see if it works out now.
Daydream, I fell asleep amid the flowers for a couple of hours.
All right, perfect. Easy peasy. I can get rid of this now and move this down. Next, I already have the text on the video, so I'm just gonna... Okay, so I got the text in. First of all, your positioning with the text is very important. If your product is too high up, then you would just bring it down here. Not too close to the bottom or too close to the middle, but usually you would put your text up here. And you don't want to make it too big where it gets cut off. With TikTok, it kind of cuts out the video a tiny bit, so you don't want to make it too big where it can get cut out because that would suck and you'd look stupid. So, and if you can, try to make it all in one line. If you need to, then make it two if it's just too long. But if it's just like 4 or 5 words on a line, try not to make that into 2 lines. Just try and make it 1 line. You should only go over 2 if it's like one of those little trends that is in a niche and you're just trying to replicate it. But usually what I would do is just cut the text into 2 different parts and just take part of the text in one video and in one part and just add it to the other one and delete it, if that made sense. Just try to keep it 2 lines at most. I didn't forget, but at the end I have to do a voiceover for this text, so just gonna keep that in mind. Now all I'm gonna do is do the little zoom in and zoom outs for these clips. So with this clip, I'm gonna slowly zoom in, and then once it gets right here where it gets louder, then I'm gonna start zooming it in a little faster. Okay, for the next few clips, I'm gonna also just do a zoom in.
Daydream, I fell asleep amid the
I'm
flowers.
gonna zoom it in a little more.
The flowers for a couple of hours.
I'm gonna make this a compound clip. I'm gonna start it out higher and make it go down to 0.
For a couple.
Nah, it's a little too fast.
Daydream, I fell asleep amid the flowers for a couple of hours.
Okay, that's decent. Another thing I like to do just to make it look perfect is I just adjust it a tiny bit. I like to bring the saturation up, bring the exposure down a little bit, make it look a little more cinematic. I sharpen it and add some clarity. And I just do that in every single one of my videos. It just looks a lot better for this product specifically.
I fell asleep. Daydream, I fell asleep amid the.
Okay, I just noticed a mistake going back now.
I fell asleep.
From this point, I should be tilting it, and I don't do it until a little later. So I'm just gonna speed up the clip a little more.
Daydream, I fell asleep amid the flowers.
Better. Okay.
Daydream, I fell asleep amid the flowers for a couple of hours.
All right, that's good. A lot of times with CapCut, when you rewatch the video, it kind of gets delayed with the sound a little bit. So you just have to kind of rewatch it and it kind of fixes itself. Yeah, that looks good for the most part. It's important to fix like every little mistake you find because you should be aiming for top quality. Like that little mistake I found where I tilted it a little too late, I just fixed that up and it looks 10 times better.
Daydream, I fell asleep and
So
made the
much cleaner. It goes with the music better, flows a lot cleaner. Okay, so the only thing I'm missing now is the voiceover for this video. So now I just need to voice over this text on screen. I haven't done voiceover text in so long. Gotta lock in for this. Typically, I would use 11 Labs, which is just like AI voiceovers, but a human voiceover always sounds better. No matter how close AI is to sounding like a human, it's not a human. So, I mean, if you can, like if you are from the US and you have like a US accent, then you should 100% do the voiceover yourself instead of doing AI. It works a lot better. But also if you are like, say you're a guy and you're selling like girl products, then obviously you're not gonna do the voiceover. And also if you are selling like a manly product, I can't think of one to be honest right now, and you sound like a little boy, like you haven't dropped your balls yet, then you shouldn't do the voiceover either, just do AI. Let me try and do this voiceover now. Okay, so all I'm gonna do is just speak into my phone on the camera app, and then I'm just gonna airdrop it to my laptop and see how good that sounds. If not, then I'm probably just gonna use this mic and try and get it onto my laptop somehow. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do right now. All right, let's see how I sound. Probably gonna take a few times. The watch that every chocolate lover needs. Yeah, I already messed it up. The watch that every chocolate lover needs. I'm trying to think of the tone of voice that would go well with my audience. I don't want it to sound too masculine or too feminine. I don't know how I feel about those. I just did like 30, but I need water to replenish my voice. Okay, let's try this again. The watch that every chocolate lover needs. I liked that one. I like that one. Okay. All right, one more. For the second text, it's kind of like a joke, so I'm gonna try and sound a little more feminine, I guess, a little gay. So don't mind me. Tag someone who should buy this for you. Tag someone who should buy this for you. Okay. I think that one was all right. Okay, let's add it in. If you want a little better of an audio, you should probably do it on a mic if you have one. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to do it on my phone. All right, so I have the audios. Just going to add them in and extract the audios. So I'm going to lower the volume of the video a little bit, or a lot of bit, so you can sound my voice, you can hear my voice better. The watch that every chocolate lover needs. I'm gonna raise the volume of these and cut out any unnecessary background noise. The phone audio made a little sound in it. You could hear it, listen. Tag someone who should buy this for you.
I fell asleep and made the flower.
It made a loud sound in the middle of it, so I'm gonna have to redo that one. All right, I'm gonna redo that voiceover really quick because it did not come out good. Tag someone who should buy this for you. Now that was it. Tonality is so important. I'm gonna raise the audio a little bit on it though. Another thing I'm gonna do is at the end, I'm gonna remove the text because I feel like that's a part where we're just trying to focus more on the product and the text doesn't really make sense with that part. The last thing I'm going to do is just adjust the song a little bit. When I'm not talking, I'm going to raise the volume of the sound a little bit, and when I am talking, I'm gonna lower it, obviously. What I like to do is just watch it over a few more times just to make sure I did everything right. If there's anything I can change, I can do it now, compared to if I just downloaded it and see the mistake afterwards. So it's important to just try and find any mistakes you made. I actually am going to do something a little different. I'm just gonna make this clip a little bit longer because I feel like it needs to be shown off a little more. Okay, there we go. Beautiful video. The watch that every chocolate lover needs. Tag someone who should buy this for you.
I fell asleep and made the flowers for a couple of hours.
Okay, that's basically all there is to making a viral video. Another thing you can do though, when you are posting, which a lot of people do not take advantage of, they kind of skip this part and think it doesn't matter that much. But the captions to the videos you can make in a way so that people get onto your account and click the link in your bio. Typically what I say in my captions are 3 things. I kind of cycle through these things, but if not these things, then I would just say something that is kind of more brand related or something that makes sense with the video. The 3 captions I would say are today only, comment link to unlock 40% off, and you can connect ManyChat to your Instagram or something. Whenever people comment link in the comment section, then ManyChat will DM them a link to your website, and you can easily get more people onto your website and get more sales. Another thing I say is send this to someone who needs this in their life. If people share the video, then you get more views, and then you can have a better chance of going viral. And the last one I say is link in bio, get yours now before stock runs out. And that kind of creates some urgency to the people reading it, telling them that they have to get the product fast. That's some things you don't want to miss out on, because nobody in this space even talks about that. That's some sauce that you can only find here. I hope you guys got something out of this video and understand everything a little better. I am going to be taking on more creators, so if you're interested, DM me on Instagram. That'll be the first link in the description. Please subscribe, like the video, and if you want to see anything else, just comment it down below. I'll see you guys in the next video.